under a blanket of snow. Today's temperatures and windy conditions bringing concerns for lingering statewide. In just a moment, we should be hearing from Governor Stein about the state's response to this blowout. Welcome to our extended weather coverage. I'm Lauren Coleman.
Yes, it's 11 o'clock and I'm Hannah Hill. We've been tracking the impact from yesterday's historic snowfall across our state all morning long. Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Ed Matthews. Ed, I know you have to be tired. 2 weeks of ice storm and then a snowstorm. You're invincible though, yeah, hero Ed. But some alarming totals here in the Triad.
Oh yeah, just really pretty incredible. And Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley is in the process of updating those numbers. Just really incredible. Many areas getting at or even above a foot of snow here in our part of the Piedmont. And as we look over the city of High Point, it is nice to see the sun. Now, it was quite enjoyable watching the snow come down all day yesterday, but it's equally nice to see the sunshine. The melting process has begun. Remember, you don't have to go above freezing in the temperature. You just need that direct solar radiation shining down on the snow. And that's exactly what's happening not only in High Point, but throughout our viewing area this morning. And that will continue as we head through the afternoon. The temperature in High Point with the sunshine is at 22. So temperatures are moving up. Burlington's at 22. Went down into the single digits and low teens this morning. Troy is at 22, 25 in Reedsville, Stokesdale at 23, and over at Liberty, the temperature there at 22. Even though the temperatures are moving up, the wind chills are still quite low. Most recently, a 31-mile-per-hour wind gust over in Winston-Salem. And although we don't see any more negative wind chills like we saw earlier this morning with those lower temperatures, it is plenty cold when the wind kicks up. Feels like 8 in Reedsville and Greensboro, 10 in Danville, feels like 8 in Asheboro, 6 in Winston-Salem, and it feels like 10 in Burlington and 13 in Wilkesboro. Plenty of sunshine for the afternoon, upper 20s to near 30. Wind chills into the teens with gusty winds, 25, maybe as high as 30 miles per hour, but they'll relax tonight and under a clear sky, very cold as we drop to around 10 or 12 overnight. We'll check out the Triad 7-day forecast for you coming up.
Let's take a quick look at your Triad traffic this morning. As you can see on this map, we're taking a look at your biggest cities, Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Whole lot of yellow and orange on that map. Traffic is flowing fairly smoothly. However, it's going slow, and that is a good thing this morning as there are still a large amount of snow along the roadway. And we're talking some areas even got 16 inches, guys. So it's very important to go slow. Taking a look at Greensboro, you can see I-40, 220, 29, all your big roadways, whole lot of green. If you're gonna go on those this morning, expect to drive extremely slow. A lot of people even cutting the mile per hour in half so that they do give themselves enough time this morning as well. We're also bringing in our crews that we have across the Triad this morning, starting with Christina Dillon. Christina is in Burlington along one of those roadways. What is traffic looking like, Christina?
Yes, Hannah, traffic it's moving really well right now, and quite honestly fast, but Burlington has done a nice job. You can see behind me, this road is almost pretty much bare pavement at this point. The NCDOT has been hitting this roadway. It's I-40, and don't get me wrong, you still want to drive slow. There are still slick spots. There is still snow on certain parts of the highway, but for right now, we were just driving along it and now we're beside it. It is looking very good for about 11 a.m. today. I want to show you some video though. This is what we took all throughout the day today. We were up at 3 a.m. Driving and having that morning shift, and we got a lot of video of the roadways. This was highway earlier. This was also residential and secondary streets earlier, and they were still pretty snowy. Now, The thing about it is that some of the residential roadways, they're the ones that are on the third ranked list for those plows to get to. So they're not going to be able to, you know, get to them right now. So that's why these highways are first. The DOT did say they saw about 6 to 8 inches in this area. They had overnight crews out there. They were salting overnight, and they began plowing today, which is why you see such a clean interstate. But they said it still could be icy. I wanted to let you hear from them directly about how they said to, you know, stay safe right now.
Drivers, as always, be safe. And if you do have to go on the roads today, make sure you go slow and leave extra following distance. And while our plows are out working today, give them extra room if you are on the roads with them.
Yes, and sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. I can hear you guys now. Yeah, but the DOT wants you to remain slow. They want you to give a good driving distance to the people in front of you. If you are behind someone, give them driving distance as well. The city of Burlington says it also has plows out, likely getting to those secondary roads today.
Christina, I know you've been making your way around Alamance County. We've seen you in some residential areas. We've seen you out on the interstate. A lot of churches have canceled service this morning. Have you seen different businesses throughout the morning that are continuing to stay open?
Great question, Lauren. We headed down to Graham because, you know, Graham has that kind of really cute downtown. It has that square. Everything was closed. This was probably about an hour ago, so it's possible that places might open up throughout the day. But we thought, hey, maybe we could check out a coffee shop or talk to some people who might be downtown, and it was still a ghost town. So I think these businesses are staying closed, staying safe, just for today to, you know, ensure that people can stay off the roads while the highways might look clear. You saw in that video that a lot of those secondary and, you know, those residential streets still aren't quite safe for people to be out on at this time.
All right, thank you so much, Christina. We'll check in with you a little bit later. Well, the freezing temperatures still bring a concern of icing on roads and from above. Check out this photo from one of our photojournalists. Beware of ice like this hanging from your home as you walk out this morning. Hannah, you were just talking about this photo. It seems crazy to see it up close now. These cold temps aren't good for anyone, especially the little ones. So watch out for signs of hypothermia in babies. If your baby has bright red, cold skin and low energy, get medical help right away.
This is a concern for adults as well. Symptoms include slurred speech, fumbling of hands, memory loss. If you have any of these symptoms, seek medical attention immediately. And if you think someone might have frostbite or hypothermia, call 911 as well.
Good information on your screen right now. Get the person to a warm area, remove any other wet clothes, warm them with dry layers of blankets and clothing, and place their skin possibly affected by frostbite in warm, not hot water. A lot of people misconstrue that. And so the snow might be done falling here in the Triad, but bitter cold and hazardous road conditions, they're going to linger for the next few days.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably best that you stay inside for today. But if you do leave the house for some reason, be sure to bundle up properly. Make sure you wear warm layers. Avoid staying outside for long periods of time and seek medical attention right away if anything seems wrong.
And I want to say hats off to Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley, who has just recently updated our snow totals. Now, this is the final, because what I was showing you earlier this morning, it snowed several hours after those readings were taken. But Tim, you know, he works 24/7 and he's got brand new numbers here. Trinity, 16.2, 16 in Lexington, 15.5 in Thomasville. I'm going to leave it up here for just a second so you can pick your community and see how much you got in your backyard. 10.4 in Greensboro, Winston-Salem 11, Asheboro at 10, Eden 8.6, Randleman 13, 13 in Jamestown, 12 in High Point and Stokesdale, Burlington 6.5, 8 inches in Siler City, and you can see there. very, very impressive snow totals from our snowstorm. Okay, those are the total totals. Not going to add any more to those numbers, okay? Because the snow's gone and the sun is back. As we take a live look over beautiful High Point, where the temperature is currently at 22 degrees. Some areas may get close to freezing today, but the important thing is that the sun is out and shining on the snow to help to melt it. I think we're going to a press conference now, so I'm going to toss it back to the news desk.
Yeah, Governor Josh Stein holding a news conference to update us on the state's response to this weekend's winter weather. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Below freezing today and much of tomorrow.
Try to clear as much
Many
snow
roads will be bad in many places across the state.
But our fear
for days
is that with
come.
temperatures staying below
We
freezing
have a
today
lot of
and
miles
much
of
tomorrow,
road in North Carolina.
many
so it's
roads
going
will
to
be
take
bad
some
in
time.
many.
Looks like we're having some mixed minus, some audio issues. We're working to bring that up. As you can see, this news conference has just gotten underway. Let's go ahead and listen back in.
Safety of the people clearing the roads. Please stay at home if you possibly can. This is no joke. This weekend, we saw more than 1,000 collisions, including 2 fatalities, and a major traffic jam involving more than 100 vehicles on I-85. I want to thank the State Highway Patrol, the North Carolina National Guard, and local law enforcement for clearing that traffic jam in fewer than 3 hours. If you must drive, keep it slow and maintain much more distance than normal from the cars in front of you so that you have time to brake. Avoid sharp turns and sudden stops. And travel with a full tank of gas, a charged phone, and a blanket in case you get stuck. We're also concerned about the cold, especially in western North Carolina, where the wind chill temperatures could drive us well into the negatives. This will increase the strain on the electrical grid tomorrow morning as people try to stay warm. Utility companies encourage all of us to be mindful of our energy use overnight and tomorrow, including turning off the lights that we're not using and avoiding using major appliances. If you lose power, wear layers and sleep with a lot of blankets. Know the signs of frostbite, like losing feeling and color in your fingers, and hypothermia, which creates uncontrollable shivering and disorientation. If someone in your home displays these symptoms, call 911. On the Outer Banks, we've seen road conditions deteriorate. NC-12 had to be closed due to ocean overwash, and with heavy winds and high tides, it might take a while to reopen. Please stay off the roads there and be alert for any flooding. Do not drive through floodwaters. For the most up-to-date roadway information, visit drivenc.gov. Today is a special day for North Carolina because we just don't get snow like this very often. So have fun, stay off the roads, and stay safe. Thank you. I'll now invite forward North Carolina Emergency Management Chief of Staff Don Campbell and then Secretary of Transportation Daniel Johnson. Don.
Thank you, Governor, and good morning, everyone. Many areas across the state saw significant snowfall totals yesterday and into this morning. While the Department of Transportation continues to do an excellent job, many roadways statewide remain snow and ice covered and dangerous. Please continue to stay off the roadways today to let first responders, the NCDOT, and the State Highway Patrol and the North Carolina National Guard operate safely. If you must travel, make sure that you have a disaster supply kit in your vehicle, which includes blankets, extra clothing, food, water, a flashlight, an ice scraper, and a way to charge your cell phone. And please slow down. The State Emergency Response Team remains activated, and as of this morning, there are 33 local states of emergency, with 25 local emergency operation centers activated, with many others monitoring. Additionally, as of this morning, there are approximately 10,500 power outages reported statewide, and the State Emergency Response Team remains in close contact with our energy sector partners as they quickly address any disruptions in power. Remember, if you see downed power lines, treat them as energized and do not approach them. Thankfully, we have limited reports so far of downed power lines. With the extremely cold temperatures, many communities have opened shelters and warming centers. If you cannot stay at home, please visit your local government or emergency management website and social media accounts, or visit readync.gov/winterweather2026 for more information about resources in your area. I want to take a moment to highlight a couple of reminders as we move through the next few days. First, please only dial 911 for an emergency. If you need general information, please call 211. We need to do our best to keep emergency lines open so that those that need immediate help can get it. Second, if you see a disabled vehicle with yellow caution tape on it, it has been checked by a member of the first responder community and no emergency exists. You do not need to report this to 911. Third, many ponds, lakes, and creeks have ice on them. The ice cannot support the weight of a person or a pet. Please stay off the ice. It can be a deadly situation if you fall into the water right now with the water and air temperatures as they are. Please take a moment to speak with your children about this important topic. Finally, as we go through today, precipitation is coming to an end, but with the bitterly cold temperatures throughout North Carolina, it is very important that we remain vigilant. Please check on your friends, family, and neighbors. We are more resilient together. I will now turn it over to Secretary Johnson from the North Carolina Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Chief Campbell and Governor Stein. I want to start by thanking our NCDOT crews, contractors, and other first responders who are working through this winter storm. A statewide storm like this takes an incredible amount of coordination, teamwork, and effort, especially on the heels of the one we are still recovering from last weekend. The good news is that this was a cold, dry snow, which makes it easier to clear than the ice we saw last weekend. The bad news is that as far as road clearing, we have record levels of snow in some areas of the state. Our crews were prepared, and we have sufficient salt supplies to address this storm. We're throwing everything we have at this, but it will take days, even in the least impacted areas, to clear the roads. In some areas, it could be up to a week before secondary roads are clear. Please be patient and please stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. If you do have to drive, slow down and give other cars, our teams, and other first responders lots of distance. There are significantly more vehicles on the roads this weekend compared to last. Because of that, we've seen several roadway incidents across the state that were completely preventable. The last thing we want is for cars to be stranded on the roads with freezing temperatures and high winds. While all 100 counties received snow, our northeastern and coastal communities were hit particularly hard. NC 12 remains closed and our ferries continue not to operate for safety reasons. Please visit drivenc.gov for the latest road conditions and any other closures. Today, our focus remains on interstates and highways. Once those are clear and safe for travel, our crews move to other primary routes and other well-traveled roads. If you see a truck not plowing, please keep in mind they may be headed to a specific route where there is a specific need or back to the maintenance yard for resupply. Also, for safety, our plows can't operate when there's sustained winds that exceed 35 miles per hour, which is expected in some areas today. I'm going to say it again because I can't stress this message enough. If you don't have to drive today, please don't. This is for your safety and the safety of our crews. Thank you. I'll turn it back over to Governor Stein.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Secretary Johnson and Chief Campbell. At this point, we're happy to take questions, and if you would, just please use the raise hand function, and you will be recognized.
For those of you just joining us, Governor Josh Stein and other state officials just gave an update on the state's response to this weekend's winter storm. One of the big messages, if you do not have to be out and about, stay inside. They also gave us an update that the primary focus when it comes to the roadways is cleaning the interstates and the highways, and it might take more than a week before those secondary roads are clear. But NCDOT, they let us know that they have a sufficient amount of salt supply in order to continue to clean up the major roads. So stay off the roads if you can. If you do have to be out and about, make sure that you're giving enough distance between you and the car in front of you. Take it slow, no slamming on the brakes, and just watching those turns.
Yeah, I think one of the things that one of the state officials said that to me was just very eye-opening is all 100 counties got snow at some point within this event. And he said this snow is actually easier to clean than the ice that we had last weekend, which is a good sign. But still, there are record levels in most places, which, like you said, is going to take time. Sufficient salt supplies. I know that was a concern for people coming out of last weekend's event. We're good there, according to the state. It's going to take days. So, I mean, that's what we've been thinking too. The kids might not go back to school for a while. It could take a week to clear secondary roads, they said. And also, if the wind speeds exceed 35 miles per hour, the plows can't operate. So they have to do that for safety reasons as well. So if you see one that's maybe on the side of the road, that could be why. If you see one that's not plowing, he could be going to the salt house to get more salt or going to an area where it's much needed as well.
I think another thing to keep in mind is folks do have to get out. A lot of people do have to go to work, whether you're an essential worker or maybe your businesses will start opening again tomorrow as these roads have gotten clear. Have an emergency kit on standby, blankets, a charger for your phone. Make sure you have that full tank. Make sure you have some extra food. But again, stick with us. If you do want an update on road conditions where you live, they say to go to drivenc.gov for the most updated information. And for more extended weather coverage, head on over to our streaming app, WFMY Plus. We'll be live there throughout the day and have the very latest with our crews as they go throughout the Triad and give you the updates on the latest weather and traffic. You can download Plus on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. Here in the Triad, we definitely got our share of snowfall following yesterday.
Many of you across the Piedmont saw similar, if not more, totals and shared them with us on Facebook. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those photos.
Yeah, lots of viewers have sent in photos and videos, and we're enjoying them, so thanks for doing that. Here's your furry friends enjoying the snowfall. We were told Beethoven here insisted on an extra long walk to bask in the snow, and how can you say no to that?
I love the name Beethoven. Reminds me of the movies. Looks just like him. So, of course, it's not just pets enjoying the snow. This father and son in Archdale are having a little fun, tossing it right into the air. It's so fluffy and springy. You know, they couldn't do this last weekend with all that ice. That would have been quite dangerous. But I love seeing the folks get out and about. I have a dog named Colby, and I was wondering how he was going to do with the snow, because last year we got snow, but nothing to this amount, just a little bit for him to kind of like crunch in the grass, but he loved it. I took him to the dog park at my apartment, let him run around for about 10 minutes. I had a sweater on him, and you would have thought he was part husky, and he's a little dachshund mix. I'm like, maybe you're mixed with husky or something.
Yeah, I love the video you showed me this morning of him at the dog park. I was like, he's just the cutest thing. I think our dog too, and we had talked about it, they were just looking for the grass. Like, this isn't quite normal for
So, taking them out to do their business, they want to sniff to find the best patch. I'm like, come on already, there is no patch.
There's no patch. And we took Rory out last night, and she played in it for a little bit, but she ultimately, typically when her dad's outside and I open the door, she does not want to come inside. She wants to stay out there, and she just pitter-pattered right in there, and of course, shook ice and salt all over my living room, but that's okay.
Well, we love to see them happy. So we can't wait to see your photos. Continue to send them in to us on Facebook, and you can text them in. Well, the snow impacts continue, and NASCAR postponed the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. The race, originally scheduled for later today, has been pushed to Monday. We spoke with the class project manager about what it will take for the race to go on.
Our biggest obstacle right now is we need to get the snow to stop, and we need to get the wind to die down. After that, I'm very confident in our team and our equipment that we can get this place race ready, and we can put on a good show for fans on Monday.
Cup Series practice and qualifying begin at 11 Monday morning, with the last chance qualifier at 4:30, followed by the Clash at 6 p.m. Parking opens at 9 a.m. Monday, with gates opening at 10.
It is now 11:24. Let's take another look at conditions in Burlington. Our Christina Dillon is standing by off of a highway. Christina, it seems like some major improvements where you are. We can actually see the lines on the roadway.
Exactly true. We were out this morning all day, and this is a big difference from what we saw this morning. Earlier, we couldn't even see the lanes. Now, pretty crystal clear. Of course, that's not to say they're not still dangerous or that they're completely free of snow. There is some snow, but at least it looks like 2 lanes. You have bare pavement and you have lines. But I want to make it known that this is still what a residential road could look like. This is not plowed. Those are, rut marks from cars going through this area. But this is what neighborhoods could look like. And this is what I was talking about all day long with this fluffy snow that your tires could get stuck in. This is what's gonna make you slip and slide. If you kind of hit this the wrong way, this is what I was talking about, is off exits and intersections kind of bunched up in these little pillows of snow. That's where your car is gonna run into some issues and maybe swerve a little bit. So you wanna make sure whenever you see a lot of snow, you're taking it very slow. I've got my stick here, so I wanna measure how much we've got here in Burlington. This looks like a nice fluffy piece. Looks to be about 4. Now earlier we saw about 5.5. We know that some areas of Burlington got about 6, so kind of differing based on where you are, but I mean, this is so fluffy, it's fun. You can kind of make a snowball, it kind of falls apart, but I think the kids will be out sledding. We passed a hill and there was one family out, but I'm assuming, as the day goes on and it's warming up, this sunshine is certainly melting some snow away, but also making the conditions more bearable. I think Ed said it feels like 10 degrees out here now. It's definitely better from 5 degrees that it felt like earlier when the sun was coming up. So this is enjoyable. Of course, if you're going to go out, take it slow, be careful, make sure you're bundling up. But this is enjoyable conditions here in Burlington. Live in Burlington, Christina Dillon, WFMY News 2.
All right, thank you for that update, Christina. I know we're feeling a lot more relaxed going home from work, seeing that the roads are in better condition.
It's bad when 10 degrees feels like 80. All right, we'll check back in later. Thanks, Christina.
Besides watching the snow come down and then staying inside because it's so cold, what are you going to do? Well, a local financial strategist says there are 5 things you can do to improve your finances during a winter storm.
Janae Adams took to Instagram last week during the first winter storm, telling people snowstorms are a great way to save money. You are stuck in the house with nowhere to go. All you need to do is stay away from Amazon. Well, this week, she expanded that recommendation with 5 things to improve your finances during a winter storm. Here's the list. Number 1, look at your February spending plan. What's coming in, what's going out, and where you can save. Number 2, spend time on your phone or computer unsubscribing.
Number 2, let's unsubscribe from all those emails that cause you to spend money that you probably shouldn't be spending. This is a great time to sit down into your email list and really look at what is it that I need to just unsubscribe to so I can save some money.
Number 3, open up a free high-yield savings account and put at least $50 in it. The online high-yield accounts give you a much better interest rate on your money than a traditional bank.
Life gets so busy outside of when we're snowed in that we just forget to save money for ourselves. We might can cut back and pay extra to debt or pay extra to other things that are in our life, but we always forget to save. So I believe the high-yield savings account, opening that up for free and putting the $50 in there is the most important one.
Number 4, declutter your house. She says you need to walk from room to room and see what you're not using, what you're not wearing, and either sell it or give it away. And number 5 is really an improvement of finances for the entire economy. When the snow melts, she says help build back the local economy. Go eat out, go shop at a locally owned place. She says if we would all do that, we could put more than $2 million into our local economy.
All righty, how about a full day of sunshine? We had a full day of snow yesterday. What do you say we have a full day of sunshine? It's out there shining bright, the direct sun shining on